What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Dragonflight video. Hope you're all doing very, very well. This is another War Within video looking at the talents for Conduit of the Celestials. And apologize in advance. My voice is a little broken right now. I'm still a little bit sick, but we're gonna get through this video, and I'm just gonna talk about the new hero talent tree. This is coming for Mistweaver and Windwalker, and I'm gonna just focus on the Mistweaver side of it because that's what I play the most. So. I have dabbled in lots of Windwalker as well, but really, I just want to focus on Mistweaver for this video. So, what's this tree all about? Essentially, you're getting a brand new ability called Celestial Conduit. It is, it's a big damaging AoE ability and healing ability, and it's channeled. You can move while channeling, but you can't do anything else while you're pressing this ability. The rest of this tree focuses really on the 4 different Celestials that all of the monk specs share. So you got Zwen the White Tiger, you got Nizao the Black Ox, you got the Yulon the Jade Serpent, and then Chiji the Red Crane. So those are the 4 Celestials. They call them the August Celestials, whatever it is. The rest of this tree is really dedicated to passively proccing those different Celestials whenever you're doing different abilities, okay? So, yes, you have your new big ability that you're getting here called Celestial Conduit. That is a thing, but the primary part of this tree, in my opinion, is all the extra procs that are going on afterwards, and we're going to get into them. So here's what this ability does. The August Celestials empower you, causing you to radiate nature damage onto enemies and then heal allies over 4 seconds, split evenly. It's a 1.5 minute cooldown. The healing and damage go up per enemy hit. You can't do anything else while you're channeling, but you can move, okay? Let's go right down the middle of the tree, first of all, just to talk about everything else that's related to this main ability. So the first one, this is your first proc that I was talking about. Courage of the White Tiger. Tiger Palm has a chance to cause Zwen to claw your target for physical damage, healing a nearby ally for 200% of the damage done. The chance is increased while you have Yulon or Chiji out. So during your 1 minute Chiji or Yulon windows, you're going to have a lot more procs on Zwen, which is super cool. More damage and more healing. Now, one thing that's really interesting about this, just to dig into some of the details, is that if you're playing a Jadefire Stomp build, you're going to have Awakened Phaline, which means your Tiger Palm will strike twice, which means this 15% chance to proc Zwen is effectively a 30% chance if you're playing with Jadefire Stomp. If you're in the raid build, you might not have the same chance. In fact, in the raid, I think this is potentially a much worse talent because some fights you just don't get a chance to actually Tiger Palm the boss that much. Like if I'm thinking about Smolderon or even Tindril right now in the current raid, those are 2 fights where like at the very beginning of the fight you get some Tiger Palms in, but then the rest of the fight you have to like spread, you have to do mechanics, you have to dodge beams. There's just a lot going on. You don't really get a lot of uptime on Tiger Palm. So I think this is very good in Mythic Plus, potentially not that good in raid. Let's keep going. Second proc. Strength of the Black Ox. After Zwen assists you, so when you proc Zwen, your next Enveloping Mist has reduced cast time, which really doesn't matter at all, and causes Nizao to grant an Absorb Shield to 5 nearby allies for 5% of your maximum health. Now, moving into the War Within, we are not getting a stat squish. So on average, I would say at the beginning of the expansion, we're likely to start getting up to about 1 million health on average for healers and DPS. Tanks will be up to like 1.5 to 2 million. By the end of the next expansion, we'll all be much higher. But let's just say for now, at the beginning, you're going to be around 1 million health. Getting 5% of 1 million is about 50k, I think, if I've done the math right. So you're going to be giving a 50k shield to 5 people. That's what Nizao does. So you proc Zwen. You press Enveloping Mist, and then boom, Nizao pops out, and he gives 5 50k shields, which is pretty good. That's great to get extra healing. There's nothing wrong with that at all. The reduced cast time on Enveloping Mist is completely irrelevant because we can get an instant cast Enveloping Mist while we're channeling Soothing Mist. We can get an instant cast Enveloping Mist from our Thunder Focus Tea, and if you take Focus Thunder, you can get 2 of them. So the reduced cast time is kind of whatever, okay? Let's keep going. Your movement speed is increased by 25% during Celestial Conduit, so that's when you're running around channeling, and for 3 seconds after being assisted by any Celestial. So this is kind of crazy. Like, you're already a very mobile class. This is a lot of movement speed. Depending how often these guys are proccing, which I'm going to suggest you they're going to proc quite a bit. I think you're going to be getting this big like this boost of movement speed quite often, like every 15 seconds, I would say. 15 to 20 seconds, you're just, boom, 25% movement speed, 25% movement speed. So that seems really powerful to me, particularly in PvP combat, but even in PvE, in raids in particular, it just makes you even more mobile than you already are. It's almost overkill, to be honest, but more mobility is never a bad thing, in my opinion. Here's the final one. Capstone node. Unity within. Let me zoom in on this a little bit. There we go. Celestial Conduit can be recast once during its duration to call upon all of the Celestials, that's all 4 of them. Unity Within is automatically recast when Celestial Conduit ends, if not used before the expiration. So there's some really important things going on here. The Celestials that are going to be summoned from this are going to have 200% effectiveness. I'll talk about that in a minute, because we haven't even talked about Chi-Ji yet. My understanding of this is that you press this once to channel your ability. So you're moving around and channeling, and then at any point during the channel, you press the button again, and it instantly calls all 4 of your Celestials, and they each do their individual thing. Nizao's going to give a bunch of shields. Zwen's going to attack and heal somebody. Chi-Ji is going to activate Rushing J-Win, which we'll get to in a minute, and Yu'lon is going to give you some cooldown reduction. We'll talk about that in a minute. So I don't believe, some people in the forums and the comments were like, oh my god, this turns it into like an 8-second channeled ability. No, that is not what's happening here. In my opinion, we don't know this for sure, but if I'm reading this right, you press it once to channel for 4 seconds, you press it once again, you don't channel for another 4 seconds, you just immediately stop the channel, I think, and summon your 4 Celestials, okay? Or it probably doesn't even stop the channel. I don't really know, but all I know is I'm pretty sure this is not going to do a 4-second channel. So you're not going to be channeling for 8 seconds. It's just going to call all your Celestials to you. So let's see what that actually does. As I said, Nizao gives a bunch of shields. Zwen does an attack. Let's go to the left side and look at Yu'lon. Temple Training, healing of Enveloping Mist to Vivify up by 10%. I mean, that's good, but boring, but very good. Or Zwen's Guidance, Teachings of the Monastery has a 15% chance to refund a charge when consumed. Damage of Tiger Palm is increased by 30%. So I think you're going to want to take Zwen's Guidance, not because of the Teachings of the Monastery interaction. That's actually kind of bad. Teachings of the Monastery is a tricky thing, because your Tiger Palm will strike twice when you're on your Jadefire Stomp, which means you're going to get 2 stacks of Teachings of the Monastery, and then if you Tiger Palm again, you're going to get 4 stacks, but it only says that it stacks up to 3 here. So the problem is you're kind of wasting a stack there. I guess if you get your double stack up and then you hit Blackout Kick and it refunds 1 charge of Teachings of the Monastery, you only have to Tiger Palm once, and it will double strike, and you'll go back up to 3. See what I'm saying? So you'll be at 3, you Blackout Kick, it refunds 1, so then you're back to 1 charge of Teachings of the Monastery. You Tiger Palm once, it's going to hit twice, you go back up to 3, you can immediately Blackout Kick again. So this is an interesting proc where there might be instances where you get to, you have to Tiger Palm 1 time less in your combo, which is good. That's actually good. Tiger Palm is probably the weakest part of the combo, except Zwen's Guidance is now going to also buff the damage of Tiger Palm by 30%, which is kind of interesting because your Tiger Palm strikes twice and your Spinning Crane Kick will heal. Up here, Ancient Teachings, after casting Feline Stomp, or it should say Jadefire Stomp, your Tiger Palm will heal up to 5 injured allies for a percentage of the damage that it dealt. So this is now also buffing your healing from Tiger Palm, which is kind of cool. You press Jadefire Stomp, you Tiger Palm, it's doing 30% more damage, it's healing more now, and then you have this chance of potentially getting a refund on Teachers of the Monastery, which makes the entire healing combo 1 GCD less, which is kind of cool. Okay, so that's what's happening there. I think that Temple Training is probably the raid choice. Really, really good in raid, I would say. Zwen's Guidance is probably the choice in Mythic Plus, okay? Here's the big one here. This is the Yu'lon proc, okay? We've had Nizao and Zwen. This is Yu'lon, the 3rd Celestial. Consuming 8 stacks of Shaylin's Gift causes Yu'lon to decrease the cooldown time of Renewing Mist, Rising Sun Kick, Life Cocoon, and Thunder Focus Tea by 100% for 8 seconds. So the way I'm reading this is there are other abilities like a Blessing of Autumn from a Holy Paladin, which just it reduces the speed with which all your abilities cool down. Or no, it increases the speed, sorry. So it makes things go quicker. or it decreases the cooldown time. So the way that this is worded is a little bit weird. I hate the way they word this sometimes. I'm going to interpret this as your cooldowns of Renewing Mist, Rising Sun Kick, Life Cocoon, and Thunder Focus Tea. Those cooldowns are going to come back twice as quickly as they normally do. That's my understanding of this. If you think this that I'm interpreting this wrong, please let me know in the comments down below. But I think that's what's happening here. So for 8 seconds, they're going tick, 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 like twice as fast as normal, okay? So this is interesting, given the 200% effectiveness on Unity Within, right? You press your big channeling ability, and then you press it again, and you get the Unity Within, and then it's going to summon all your Celestials, including Yu'lon, and that means to me that instead of getting 100% CDR speed on those 4 abilities, it'll be 200%. So it'll be way faster, which is technically, I think 3 times more instead of 2 times more. Does that make sense? So we'll talk about that in a minute when we bring it all together. But the Yu'lon part of this is very interesting. Cooling down Life Cocoon and Thunder Focus Tea is huge because, of course, you could take Focus Thunder and have your Thunder Focus Tea empower your next 2 abilities, and then you could cool it down. The only trick here is that you need to, I would say you need to press Thunder Focus Tea, you need to have a Life Cocoon out, and you need to at least have pressed Rising Sun Kick in order to get value out of this. You have to press those 3 abilities before you press Shaylin's Gift. So it might be a little bit weird. Like, you might not want to press those abilities before you press Shaylin's Gift. There's a weird interaction going there. Healers are not like DPS characters where, like, oh, if it just tells you to do certain abilities in a certain order, you just change the way your rotation works, and it's all good. Healers are reacting to damage coming in. I don't want to just blow my Life Cocoon for no reason. So this could potentially be bad. It might be the weakest one of the buffs. Put it that way. Defensive node. Fort Brew gives you an absorb shield for 25% of your maximum health. 25% is a lot. Remember, imagine if we have 1 million health. That's 250,000 HP bubble right there. Jade Sanctuary, you heal for 10% of your maximum health instantly, and when you activate Celestial Conduit and receive 15% less damage for the duration. So when you press the channel, you get 10% max HP. When you press the summoning of the 4 Celestials, you get 10% of your max HP again, and you're taking 15% less damage for the duration. So it's okay. Mistweaver does not need any more defensives. Honestly, they are really strong with things like Dampen Harm or Yu'lon's Grace, Diffuse Magic. I mean, there's just like so many different. You could also take Fort Brew. You also have your Life Cocoon. Like, there's just, you have healing elixirs. There's a million different ways to stay alive as a Mistweaver, so either one of these is fine. Okay, let's get to Chi-Ji. This is the 4th Celestial, the 4th proc. Gain Refreshing Jade Wind while Chi-Ji, the Red Crane, or Yu'lon, the Jade Serpent, is active. This is insane. This is so good. Refreshing Jade Wind is a cooldown now that we don't ever take anymore. It used to be a short 15-second cooldown that did sort of a small amount of healing, but if you kept it up, it was really, really good over time, right? But you had to keep casting it over and over again. Then they changed it to a 45-second cooldown, so much longer, but they made it much more powerful. But nobody takes it because everybody takes Mist Wrap because of just the way that Mistweaver plays right now, especially in Raid. But even in Mythic Plus, where you're using Chi-Ji, you want Mist Wrap because making Enveloping Mist last 1 second longer is just absolutely insane. And then its healing bonus is really good. But now you're going to get Refreshing Jade Wind for free, which again is a 45-second cooldown, which is really insane. So Chi-Ji, if you take the 1-minute Chi-Ji or the 1-minute Yu'lon, they last for 12 seconds. Refreshing Jade Wind lasts for 15 seconds on its own. So you're basically getting almost a full Refreshing Jade Wind. You're only 3 seconds short of a full Refreshing Jade Wind just from this. So this is insane. And this is the proc from Chi-Ji. So from what I understand, now I'll get to the next talent. This might also be the proc, but I genuinely don't think so. We could talk about it in the comments down below. Let's look at Yu'lon's knowledge. Refreshing Jade Wind duration is increased by 10 seconds. So you can either get the free Refreshing Jade Wind when you pop your Celestial, Yu'lon or Chi-Ji, or, so that's once every minute, or you can take Refreshing Jade Wind and have a 25-second duration on that Refreshing Jade Wind. That is a long time. It heals 6 allies for 25 seconds. That's like some Tears Deliverance nonsense, even though I mean, Tears Deliverance can go up to 50 seconds. But like that's a long, long time. The question will be, is there going to be content in the game that requires you to heal people over time for like 25 seconds? Like, is there going to be value, or is it just going to overheal 80%, right? That's the question. So I think either one of these talents could actually be quite strong. It's just about the situation and the encounters. Let's look at this right here. Refreshing Jade Wind and Spinning Crane Kick have a chance to cause Chi-Ji to quickly rush to 5 targets, healing each target. We don't know how much that's for, but that is really interesting. What I'm not entirely sure about yet is I believe that Restore Balance is the proc. However, if you don't take Restore Balance, then you're not going to be getting the Refreshing Jade Wind. So it could be that this is the Chi-Ji proc down here, where when you press Refreshing Jade Wind or Spinning Crane Kick, you have a chance to have Chi-Ji quick rush. I'm pretty sure this is the proc, and I'm going to kind of settle on this now. I was debating it for a while, but I think this is what it is now. So the cool thing is that you could take Yu'lon's Knowledge, have a 25-second Refreshing Jade Wind, and then it's just the uptime is just really, really huge. You're healing people every second, and then boom, you could be triggering Chi-Ji to jump out and heal people every time your rushing Jade Wind is going off, and you can also be pressing Spinning Crane Kick at the same time. So there's definitely some incentive here to take Refreshing Jade Wind. Sorry, I keep saying rushing. Refreshing Jade Wind, and have it be a 25-second duration. Press Spinning Crane Kick at the same time. You're almost guaranteed to get some Chi-Ji procs there. That's what I think is going to end up happening there. Let's go to the last one here. Inner Compass, you switch between the alignments after an August Celestial assists you, increasing your corresponding stat by 3%. This is kind of whatever. It's kind of like a dumbed-down version of Secret Infusion. But it's fine. Stats are stats. It's cool. August Dynasty, casting Jadefire Stomp increases the damage of your next Rising Sun Kick or by 30%, or the healing of your next Vivify. This is fine. I mean, for Mythic Plus in particular, this is quite good. I think Inner Compass feels more like a raid talent choice, and August Dynasty feels like a Mythic Plus choice to me. So here's what happens. Let's bring it all together. You press your ability, you damage enemies nearby and heal allies nearby. Okay, you repress this ability at the end, or you just let it expire and it will automatically press it for you. You summon all 4 of your Celestials. Zwen jumps in and attacks somebody, and he deals double the damage he normally would because it's 200% effectiveness, and he heals for 400% of the damage done instead of 200%. Nizao jumps in and gives everybody a shield, not worth 5% of their maximum health, but worth 10% of their maximum health because, again, 200% effectiveness. Okay. Yu'lon jumps in and starts cooling down your abilities at a very rapid pace. I don't know what the numbers would actually be, but he starts seriously cooling down your abilities. And then Chi-Ji jumps out and heals 5 targets as well for whatever the amount is. We don't know what it is. That's really powerful in a 1.5 minute cooldown ability. But the secondary part of that is that these procs that I just talked about are all going on all at the same, like they're happening all the time. Right? They have a chance to be happening all the time. So that is the coolest part about this. There's like guaranteed ways to proc it. You get Shaylin's Gift. I think you're probably going to want to run with Veil of Pride to get Shaylin's Gift off cooldown. Get it up to 8 stacks, as quickly as possible so you can get this. You're going to want to be either taking Refreshing Jade Wind or having Chi-Ji proc it, but then you're going to want to be pressing Spinning Crane Kick as well to proc the Chi-Ji side of it. Nizao is going to proc after Zwen proc, so those two are kind of linked together. But this is going to be happening all the time in the background, and then when you really need like a crazy Giga heal, AoE heal, AoE damage, and then all the procs go crazy, you could press Celestial Conduit, press it again, and then all the Celestials will come jumping in and help you. And remember, there are some really powerful talents that actually interact with the Celestials. The last thing I want to talk about here is this talent down here, Invoker's Delight. I don't think that this is going to work the way that it says in the text because that would just be completely insane. But to me, it looks like you're going to be getting 33% more haste for some amount of time after summoning all your different Celestials. Now, the procs that happen here might not count towards Invoker's Delight because you're not technically summoning the Celestial, but like this second part definitely does. you recast the ability and you call upon your Celestials to assist you. Like, I don't know what that means. Does that mean summon them? I'm not really sure, but this Invoker's Delight could be a completely cracked talent to take with this hero talent tree, even if it had reduced value. Maybe it only counted as 15% haste for 4 seconds after getting a proc or something. It's still free stats that you could be getting as well. So there are some interesting interactions here as well, for sure. Tiger Palm getting to strike twice, proccing Zwen more often would be really, really good. That's going to proc Nizao more often. You can take Veil of Pride to get your Shaylin's gift back more quickly so that you can proc your Yu'lon. And then you could take Refreshing Jade Wind, have it last for 25 seconds, use Spinning Crane Kick, have them both going at the same time, and you're guaranteed basically to proc Chi-Ji. So there are really deterministic ways to proc all 4 of these guys. You have a very powerful new cooldown with a very powerful proc at the end of it. I think this works really well for Mistweaver. You're getting damage, you're getting free healing, free shielding, free movement speed. I mean, there's just a lot going on in this tree. So this is a very powerful tree, in my opinion, for Mistweaver, especially for Mythic Plus. I think it's a little bit weaker for Raid, but either way, it looks really strong to me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, please. I would love to hear from you down there. Thank you so much again for watching. Love you all. I will see you in the next one.